All right, welcome back to the hangar or shop. So I'm not working, I'm just replacing some switches in my new Jetty radio. They only give you 2 3-way switches, and I needed at least 2 or 3 more, just because of the way I do things. So I bought some new switches and I'm just swapping them out. And I didn't know what I was going to get into. I didn't know how hard it was going to be compared to Futaba, because I've done Futaba a few times, even using my little tool that I got years ago for Futaba. It's got little teeth on it, so the little nuts that screw on top of the switches that hold them in actually have like a little groove in there for like these little teeth. So it works perfect. Didn't know how hard this would be. You know, taking the back off was just was like 6, 7, 8 screws. And what I thought was pretty impressive is there are a lot of switches. Sorry, that's over here. A lot of switches on the back of the plate here. There's a slider, and then there's 4 total of the, actually push buttons. And I thought there might be a wire that you would disconnect when this come off, but it doesn't. There's actually these boards, and if you look right here, you got these little metal, these little contactors, and they contact those 4 pins right there. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. The only thing that you could run into would be not making contact, but they actually, it's hard to see, but there's a rubber piece under there that keeps that board pushed against them, and I don't think it's an issue because this is carbon, it's pretty stiff. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then taking the switches out is not no problem either, because you can tell they put a lot of thought into this. I mean, it's designed to be easily replacing things. There's modules that you can actually buy, different switches that you can put on, like, different knobs and different handles, actually putting little push buttons and little flip switches on like your sticks, which I think is pretty cool if you're a tray guy. But as a guy that flies helicopters with fingers and planes and jets with thumbs, it doesn't work for me. But what I was worried about was getting into the switches on the top and the bottom, or the top and the front, really. And there's no disconnecting these. It's pretty ingenious. What they do is you've got these little 3 pins right there, and when you push these in, they go into, it's hard to see, but the boards have 3 slots where these little pins go in and they make contact. So everything, when you take that nut out, they just pull right out, and it's pretty cool and simple. But I will say it's better to take your top one out. This top switch here, this was actually a 2 position that I'm replacing. There's a long and a short. I'm going to do the same exact lengths, but I am going to switch this long ones to 3s, because I typically will use this one for flaps, and so there's no flaps, half flaps, and full flaps, so 2 positions doesn't work. But I am keeping the same little thing, same configuration as far as length. I'm just putting I'm literally taking everyone except for this spring switch that's not a 3 is going to be a 3. And then you can see here's a little SD card. It just pulls right out, like no big deal. And like I said, there's a few other things that you'll see in here. And if you need to get to things, like if you need to take the whole gimbal out, you loosen these screws and then it just comes right out, and you can place the gimbal. There is a shit ton of adjustments for your sticks, and it's all done with the little tool in the front. And I know most Jetty users don't even, this is all second nature to them. But for guys like me that are new, you take this little magnet here and you lift this ring up, and it gives you access to all these adjustments. And it comes with a shiny version of this ring, but I bought it, but it smears and you can see fingerprints on it. So I got the carbon version that they sell that kind of goes with the front plate. And then you put it back on, there's a certain way it goes. There's a little there it goes, a little groove, little pin that holds it into place. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this. You can kind of see where I already took the those side out. But it's super well thought out, obviously, design of a radio. And I put the screen protector on it just because, keep it from getting scratched, because, you know, I'm, like I said, still on the fence. So we'll see. But yeah, that's it. Haven't done much with this. I've got it set up now. I've got the CB400 in there. I updated everything already. The only one I had issues with was the actual CB. Once I realized that there's a port here, extension 4 is where you plug in, it connected real quick and it updated. All the other ones had the current software, but that was the only one I couldn't figure out. And once I plugged in a battery too, that I figured it needed power. But the rest was pretty straightforward. The software auto detects and uploads for you. The radio, you can connect to the Wi-Fi and it updates via the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow to get on this, just kind of finish it up the next few days. I took the weekend to put in my side lifters for my garage doors finally. I got that one, and you probably can't see it, but I got that one way up there done, and then I've been cleaning up the shop, getting everything kind of cleaned back up after the baseboard and trim installation. So anyways, but I'm gonna try to get this finished. I might do another video once I get everything kind of set up, because this is really done. It's just final plugging in all the wires and making sure everything's working and programmed right. And being a new radio, it's going to be interesting because definitely not familiar with their setup. There are some things that are similar to Futaba, but there is a lot that is not, and this is a very complex jet. But anyways, I'll figure it out. The instructions are not all that great because they're very limited, but like I said, it's just one of those things where you get in there and you start playing with it and you'll figure it out over time. And there's a lot of videos and there's a lot of people that fly it, so I can phone some friends if need be. But yeah, you guys have a good one, and I'm gonna get back to these switches. Cheers.